She's defied every odd and has still managed to achieve her dreams. Her talent as a writer and the nurturing support of her mother has brought those hopes and aspirations onto the pages of 5 books, including her latest release, I Blame God. Let's welcome author, motivator, and mother, Desiree Middleton. Desiree, great to have you here with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
So we're talking about your 5th book.
Yes.
I Blame God.
Yes.
Tell me about this.
So I Blame God is mainly a journey, as I would say, into my personal spiritual life. I grew up in a very religious family. My mom is a minister, and so it was always church, 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 church. That was how I grew up. And so when I became an older adult and went out on my own, I didn't so much want to do that so much, and so I kind of strayed. It's more so like the story of the prodigal son in the Bible, who kind of goes away and then realizes I need to be back in this element. So it's really my personal journey of how I kind of transitioned from maneuvering outside of what I was taught and then finding my way back, but not so much the way I was taught, kind of maneuvering it in my own way and figuring it out in my own way.
And that journey, I feel, is such a shared experience among so many people.
Yes.
And this book, I Blame God, how does it differ from the other 4 books in your repertoire?
I think this one differs because I Blame God is really, really personal. I really get very open, and I express a lot of myself in that book. So you will definitely get a very in-depth look into myself and kind of how I maneuver, even checking my own self, having to realize like, hey, I don't do everything right. I don't say everything right. Sometimes I am wrong. So just realizing that I'm, kind of chastising myself throughout this book as well.
Mm-hmm. Your faith journey and your mother are obviously 2 inspirations for you to write in this book in general. Yeah. What else inspires you to write?
Of course, my children. I am a mother of 3, and 3 girls at that. And so I always want to show my daughters that there is a way. If you think it, if you dream it, then you can absolutely achieve it. And what better example than for them to have than their own mother who's in the house with them. So anything that I tell my girls that I want to do, I definitely try to execute it just so that I can show them like, hey, I said I was going to do this and I did it.
Yeah, that's wonderful, Desiree. And Wonderful is also the name of the organization that you founded.
Yes.
Can you touch on that?
Yes, so Wonderful is a mentorship program that I started a few years ago to mentor young women because I was a teen mother. And sometimes when you're in that aspect, you feel lonely. You feel like you've messed up. You feel like I don't know what to do next, or my life is over. And sometimes people will tell you that. They will tell you your life is over. But I do it to mentor young women, to let them know it's not the end of the road. You are not the first and you won't be the last. But I try to encourage them and show them that there are other ways to maneuver through those transitions and through being a mother and still be very good at it, still take very good care of your children, but still also be very successful.
And I feel like the book I Blame God is a great starting point for people who are wanting to achieve that path for themselves.
Yes.
And in addition to, this book came out in April, right?
Yes.
Are you working on your 6th book? Are you taking a minute?
I am. So I am working on a 6th book. I'm actually partnering with my 2 older daughters, and we're writing this book together. But then I'm also wanting to broaden and move into stage play. So that is something that I've been kind of going back and forth with for about 2 years now, but now I think I really want to go that path and make my first stage play my Married to the Enemy book. Tyler Perry is a huge inspiration to me, as I'm sure he is to a lot of writers, and so kind of just taking on his path and just really wanting to explore that aspect of it.
So where can we keep up with you, and also where can we find I Blame God?
So I Blame God, of course, with all my other books, are available on my website, which is www.authordesiree.com. They're on Amazon, Walmart, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble as well. And then you can keep up with me on social media. I'm pretty much heavy on social media, and so I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
Wonderful, Desiree. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
We're back after this.